human beings have been trying to understand their surroundings. Early Indian philosophers classified matter in the form of 5 basic elements, the Panch Tattva: air, earth, fire, sky, and water. According to them, everything, living or non-living, was made up of 5 basic elements. Ancient Greek philosophers had arrived at a similar classification of matter. Modern-day scientists have evolved 2 types of classification of matter based on their physical properties and chemical nature. So in this chapter, we shall learn about matter based on its physical properties. Now let's define matter. Matter may be defined as something which has mass and occupies space. Example: table, chair, pencil, pen, notebook, water, air, etc. So, matter is made up of tiny particles, and it is something which has mass, and that mass remains same all over the universe, whether it is on the moon or on the earth. And it occupies a space. That is, for example, if you take a book and keep it on the table, it occupies space. Okay, so now, what are the characteristics of matter? First, particles of matter are continuously moving. Second, particles of matter have a space between them. Third, they attract each other. Now let's talk about these characteristics in the next slides. So first property of matter is that particles of matter move constantly. We can say that they show Brownian motion. Brownian motion is a rapid, random, and continuous motion of very fine and solid particles. A botanist called Robert Brown, who was experimenting with pollen grains, first observed this phenomena. Example: the smell of food being cooked in the kitchen reaches us even from a considerable distance. The fragrance of a burning incense stick spreads all around. The smell of perfume spreads due to the diffusion of perfume vapors in the air. These examples clearly exhibit the fact that particles of matter move constantly. One more example we can give here. When food color is added to a liquid, the entire liquid appears to be of the same color as that of the food. This is due to diffusion. So now, how we can define diffusion? Diffusion can be understood as a net movement of particles from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration as a result of the random motion of the particles. Diffusion occurs in gases, liquids, and solids. So on increasing the temperature, the kinetic energy of these particles increases. They move faster. It is maximum in gases, little less in liquids, and minimum in solids. Now let's understand the second property of matter, that is, particles have spaces between them. This can be understood by a very fine example. Take a glass of water, add some sugar in it. You will see that there is no change in the volume of water. Why this happens? Where does the sugar go? These particles of sugar go into the spaces between the various particles of water, due to which there is no change in the volume of water. Thus, it can be ascertained that there are spaces between the particles of water, and the particles of sugar take up these vacant spaces. Similarly, we can take camphor or salt apart from sugar and do the similar experiment. We see that there is no change in the volume of water. So we can say that particles have spaces between them, and the order of spaces between the particles is maximum in gases, followed by liquids and solids. Now the third property of matter is particles of matter are attracted towards each other. There is a force that acts on the particulate matter that keeps it together. Some substances exist as gases, some others exist as solid crystals and do not break easily, and others exist as liquids. The magnitude of the force of attraction varies from one state of matter to another. That is, it depends on the nature of the matter. Particles of solids have the strongest force of attraction, followed by those of liquids and gases. You can do an activity. Take a piece of chalk, a cube of ice, and an iron nail and beat them with a hammer. Note down your observations. Which substance breaks down easily? Which substance gets deformed on beating? So you will find that it is very easy to break the piece of chalk into smaller particles. It requires more force to break a cube of ice, whereas the iron nail does not break at all, even with a large force. It gets deformed on prolonged beating. The force of attraction varies between the particles of different substances, and it depends upon the material of the substance. You can do another activity. Move your hand to air. What do you experience? Can you move your hand without any resistance? Okay. Now try to move your hand through a brick and note whether you can move your hand through the brick. So why? So what is the reason behind that? Particles of gas have weak interparticle attractions and hence have large interparticle spaces which allow the free movement of hand. In the case of solids, it is exactly the opposite, wherein the particles are tightly packed due to the strong force of interparticle attraction. Thus, it is impossible to move the hand through a brick.